In Cold Blood is a 1967 American neo-noir crime film written, produced, and directed by Richard Brooks, based on Truman Capote's 1966 novel of the same name. It stars Robert Blake as Perry Smith and Scott Wilson as Richard Dick Hitchcock, two men who murder a family of four in Holcomb, Kansas, and charts their time as fugitives, capture by police, and eventual executions. Although the film is in parts faithful to the book, Brooks made some slight alterations, including the inclusion of a fictional character, the reporter, played by Paul Stewart. Told through flashback, ex-convicts Perry Smith and Dick Hitchcock meet in rural Kansas in the fall of 1959. Together, they concoct a plan to invade the farm home of the wealthy Clutter family, as patriarch Herbert Clutter supposedly keeps a large supply of cash in a wall safe. The two criminals break into the home in the middle of the night, but are unable to find any safe, as Herbert uses checks for his personal business and his farm operations. In order to leave no witnesses to their robbery attempt, Smith and Hitchcock kill Herbert by cutting his throat and proceed to murder his wife, Bonnie, and their two teenage children, Nancy, 16, and Keenan, 14, with a shotgun. Their bodies are discovered the next day, and a Finney County Sheriff's and Kansas Bureau of Investigation is immediately launched, headed by Detective Alvin Dewey. Based on a tip by a former cellmate of Hitchcock, the two men become the primary suspects for the Clutter murders. The fugitives elude law enforcement by heading to Florida, traveling southwest across the country, and eventually crossing the Mexican border. After 2 weeks in Mexico, the two return to the United States and decide to travel to Las Vegas, hoping to earn money and gambling winnings. Shortly after their arrival to Las Vegas, Smith and Hitchcock are arrested for driving a stolen car, violating parole, and passing bad checks. The Las Vegas Police Department and the KBI later separately interrogate the two men about the Clutter murders. Both Smith and Hitchcock admit to passing bad checks, but both deny knowing anything about the murders. The KBI attempts to scare the men into confessing, claiming that they left a witness behind who can testify against them. The KBI interrogation, however, is slowed by Smith's refusal to provide answers. Next, the KBI confront the two with evidence, such as a bloody footprint matching the boots worn by Smith. Finally, Hitchcock relents, confessing that he was present, but that Smith carried out the murders. He begs for immunity from the death penalty. After Smith learns that Hitchcock has confessed, he recounts how it was in fact he, not Hitchcock, who wielded the knife and pulled the trigger in all four killings, but maintains that Hitchcock was present as an active accomplice. Both Smith and Hitchcock are charged with first-degree murder, found guilty on all counts, and each sentenced to death by hanging. On the day of their executions, Smith begs a jail guard to allow him to use the toilet beforehand, having heard that hanged men defecate themselves. The guard initially denies it, but then relents. Both men are hanged for their crimes as the prison staff watch. The film was shot on location at sites where Smith and Hitchcock's crimes occurred, including the real Clutter home where they robbed and murdered all four members of the family. The film was nominated for 4 Academy Awards for Director, Original Score, Cinematography, and Adapted Screenplay. So check out the suspense-filled crime film on DVD or Blu-ray, and I'll see you in the next exciting video.